Hey, what's going on, guys? MA76B-Ball. I'm back at it again with another video for you. Today, I've got kind of a tutorial, I guess you would say. A few people asked me on Instagram, like, how do I take my pictures and stuff like that. So, I tried to take a few video clips showing like what I do and exactly how I edit my stuff. So all of my pictures are taken on an iPhone 6s Plus. That's what I use for all of my pictures. And I use one app called Snapseed to edit my pictures. So I tried to take some video, hope it kind of shows what I do, and yeah, enjoy. Alright guys, later.
Alright, well, this is like, the first place where I take a lot of my pictures, just out in front of my house. So I just kind of get, put your feet in a position, and you turn the screen on the smartphone, full brightness. So you can see, so I'm actually obviously leaning over and you can see the actual screen. So yeah, you just kind of play around with the angle. I don't like cutting off my shoes in my pictures, so I try to get both shoes, clearly in the frame. And you can get lower, you can do higher, off to the left, off to the right, whatever. Whatever you think looks good for your preference, your style of pictures. So I'll just do the same thing right here. So just feet in position. This is the wide stance here, and again, just leaning over. Screen's on full brightness, so you can see what you're taking, and just play around with the angle, and yeah, just snap away. Usually I usually take about 5 or 6 and only end up using one. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and most of the magic is done in editing afterwards. So the other location that I take my pictures, just in the hallway in my house, and I kind of use this little tripod here. You can see there it's bendable, and you could put it on on a fence or something like that, and put it flat on the ground. So these are fairly inexpensive, and if you're just taking your pictures with a smartphone, it's just a quick little accessory that you could use to improve pictures. So here, the camera is up above, and then you can switch it around, and then that would give you an ultra low angle of the shoe, which is pretty dope in my opinion. But I actually don't use it that way too often. Alright, so this is what I was talking about here, just in the hallway in my house here. So you set up the camera. I put on the timer. That's one thing that I do, and what that does, it'll automatically take pictures in bursts of 10, and yeah, just kind of line up the shoes and make sure everything's centered. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually leaning over, and I can see the screen of the phone. So you can see, there you go, I'm hitting the shutter button there. So that's kind of the cool secret there, is if you just lean over, you can see where the shoes are lining up in the frame of the picture. So again, same thing, just setting it up. It doesn't matter, you just where your feet are, whatever position that you like to do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Try different poses. Like the trickier one is, I think, is coming up maybe, is when your back is to the camera. You have to kind of gauge where your feet are going to line up in the frame of the picture, and then this one you usually end up taking several times. This is actually probably my favorite pose here. And then you see, like, I'm going to go check to see if I lined up or not. And yeah, you can always use markers, like the lines in the hardwood floor. I kind of use those as to frame the picture, so I know where my feet are supposed to be, and if I need to move over left, or if I need to move over right or closer to the camera. I think, see, now I'm closer. So yeah, you could just kind of use things around you. So then to editing. So I use an app called Snapseed that I mentioned earlier. So you just open it up, find the picture that you want to work with. I've been using this app for years and years and years. So there's all sorts of options, details, rotate, crop, tune image, brush, etc. So I always go to details, and I'll bump up the structure level a little bit, and the sharpness, of course. So so just to give it more details. Then I'll head over to, I think it's called tuning, yeah, tune image. So you could brighten it up, and the reason I brighten it up is because of the last effect that I put on, so I'll talk about that later. So you just bump up contrast, a little bit of saturation, bring out the highlights and shadows, and that all helps with a little bit more detail, or at least in my opinion it does. And then the last thing is the vignette, which I love doing, and that's why I brighten up the picture, because the vignette, you know, darkens the picture. So that's kind of the effect that I like there. And then sometimes, not always, but sometimes I'll throw in the blur. It's kind of fun playing around with that. And with this blur, you see, it doesn't have to be a circle. You can make it into an oval type of thing. And I just, you know, put it on the front foot there. And then you can also adjust transition, the amount of blur, and you can also vignette the picture itself within this one option. And that's pretty much it. You could save the picture so it replaces the original, or you can save a copy. And so you have the original and the copy, or the edited version, which I just posted on my Instagram a few hours ago. So there's the option there, save a copy. So yeah, that's how pretty much how I do my pictures. I think I'll edit the one inside the house now. Yeah, so just showing you the original. So that's the original picture there. Just, you know, untouched, and then you can see the edited version, which I think looks a little bit crispier. So, and that's the fun thing with editing, you know, you guys just, you play around with it, and there's so many good apps out there. There's another one called Light, I think, or Enlight. That's another great one too. Alright, so now I edit this one here. This was the shot that I was mentioning that I like, you know, the side profile and then the back of the shoe. So just bumping up sharpening and structure for detail, and then the normal routine that I do, bump up brightness, contrast, saturation, ambience, highlights and shadows. And that kind of gives, you know, the look that I personally like in my pictures. So that's it. So I think I'll save a copy, and so you can see the original. I'll open up the there we go. So there's the original, and then the edited. Alright guys, so that's pretty much how I do my pictures. It's not rocket science, but the fun thing is, you know, for you guys to play around. If you guys take your pictures with smartphones, just to play around with them and try different types of editing and see what looks good. Alright guys, well, thanks for dropping by. You know, I'm sick and I've got hay fever. It's a double whammy, so not a lot of energy. But thanks for dropping by the channel, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Alright, peace.